And as some of the clouds are starting to turn a bit darker on the horizon, as if a mild rainstorm might be a day or so away, you hear like a heavy smack just outside of visual shot.
A smack.
Bird strike.
Can you hear him off to the left?
I'll go look over the side.
You glance over the side, and you see there's what looks to be a collection of probably a dozen or so kind of small dog-sized bird creatures that are like all kind of like a flock of them flying up to the side of the airship, and 3 of them are like onto the side.
Oh no!
The one that's looking up towards you, you can see it has these like thin arms and long wings, like leathery wings that come off of it, and has these creepy like dark beady black bird eyes with a hooked beak, and this kind of odd like frill across its neck as it looks up to you and goes and starts like climbing up towards you.
I'll
What do you
scream to the others. We got bird dogs. They're cute and bad. we got brawl. Come help me.
Okay, you cast Speak with Animals.
Yes, and I will say, "Be gone, you! There's nothing for you here. Go away, or we will be forced to harm you."
So the first thing that you notice is when you speak, the creature kind of looks at the one that's closest to you and starts climbing toward. It does not seem to acknowledge your language, as it is not a beast.
Oh no!
What?
And it reacts by rushing up the side. As it climbs, kind of flutters its wings a little bit to kind of catch up a little bit of speed in your direction, and it's going to go ahead and attempt to bite at you with its beak. So it strikes you, and you kind of like back away from it and push it off as it kind of climbs over the top of the deck. As you pull away, your limbs are getting harder to move, and the coloration of your metal, oddly, is starting to turn to like from the bright bronzish yellow to like a dull gray coloration.
Oh.
Who is anybody else hearing this?
Are we there?
Oh, yeah,
We're gonna do the thing.
Yeah. So the rest of you kind of rush up to the top.
Jump off the ship.
And I'll go ahead and get him happy.
No issues there. I know we've seen it before, but it's still amazing.
Whoa!
So hard.
Alrighty. However, the rest of you have
You
since
can make them sticky.
Oh man.
Oh fuck.
Dozen, huh? Okay.
Like 20.
You see 3 easily up
20.
there. Let's put this kind of in this
I can't know that.
situation here. As you guys rush up, you see 3 of these creatures off to the side. Let's roll initiative. Alrighty. So, top of the round, Orem, you're up.
Do I have enough movement to get to letters? I will use movement and dash.
Alright, so that gets you right up next to him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna grab him by the metal arm and swing him around and trade places with him if I can, and do bait and switch.
Okay, you can do that. You can yank him.
So we trade places. I'm between him and the featherless bird, and I give FCG 2 more points to his AC till the start of my next turn.
And getting up close too, you can see it is indeed like a scaly, leathery skin and like a dull brownish pink coloration. Its eyes are now wild. You can see the yellow on the outside of the deep dark irises, and it has these like spiny frills that go down the back of its head and underneath its throat.
Okay, an action surge so that I can attack this guy.
You got it. So you straight once with the sword and kind of looks back up at you as you slash a second time, and you just cleave right through its throat, and its head goes off the side of the ship while its body kind of, for a second, starts freaking out without a head, and it just kind of quivers to the ground, still moving, its muscles tensing and twitching.
Chicken head cough, that's why they say that.
Does it finish your turn?
That does.
All right, Fern, you're up.
All right. Mister, come here. Hi, big boy. All right, he's ready to go. And as a bonus action, I am going to produce a flame blade.
Flame blade emerges from your hand.
Amazing.
All right, so I'll get up close to one that's
Okay.
nearby.
So 30 feet is your movement, right?
Yeah.
Can't quite get to one at the moment.
Oh, 35.
35, you can get right here. Still 10 feet away from one.
Shit.
But you have the flame blade at the ready. You can hold your action
I'll
before
hold my
one gets
action
near you.
until it gets aboard.
You got it. Okay. So finishing that, it is now their turn. They rolled actually pretty decent initiative. This one streaks forward towards you. This one comes in towards you. You can immediately make your attack with the flame blade if you want. So as you arc down, the flame emits an even brighter, almost like orange-white heat in the proximity of both you, and as Mr. Across the Way just goes, like screeches at it, and it flares up as you impact and slice. It seems to put its wings up to try and defend it, but carves through and cuts it in the wing, like the searing edge of where it cleaves through is now burnt and cauterized.
Oh. Sorry.
But it's still there, and so two of them are going to attack you. They both just start pecking right at you with their beaks open. So one of them just goes to strike and then sees the flame blade and like pulls back from it. As you feel your skin begin to tighten against your body and pull back, your joints are moving slower and you feel like you're just weighed down heavily. You are restrained.
Oh.
It doesn't feel good.
What is this? What's happening?
I don't know.
There are now 3 against Orem.
Chickens!
5 points of piercing damage as this one just manages to arc its neck up and scream as it arcs over your shield and gets you right on the top of the head. You're like, ah! It hurts, but that's about
You
it.
hit me in the ear!
I'm sorry, I fucked it up. No, it's perfect.
You shot me. You shot me in the arm.
Ashton, you're up with Imogen on deck.
All right, I would like to fucking rage, and as I do, I start getting the rainbow sparks going in the head and in the hammer. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to run. Can I run at the one that it's?
Stars are out. Sorry.
Too soon.
Sorry.
What can I reach on 40 feet?
40 feet. You can reach most any of them over here next to Fern. Yeah, you can most reach any of them actually.
I'm going to hit the one that that Orm just stabbed.
Chicken.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a run at it. I'm just going to see if I can get it to hit the floorboards.
18 points of damage. You rush up with your hammer. Wham! And as you impact, you feel the entirety of its chest cavity just crumble, and you watch as its now lifeless body just off the edge.
Yeah. Walk down.
That was good.
Okay, there we go.
Are there any other ones within walking range to me, or is that the only one I can?
No, you can go to this one next to Fern.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop in and take another shot.
Go
I'm
for
gonna just see if I can just keep it going and take another swing.
As you swing back the other one and you impact, and its head just goes into the ground, and the rest of the body just kind of stands there for a second. The wings kind of twitch, and it just crumples over.
The rainbow sparks pop up as it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Aw.
Very cool.
I love this. I could do it all day.
Imogen, you're up.
The turn.
With Laudna on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna step forward a couple feet.
Oh, I should have had that.
I want to be within 30 feet of the ones at the far end, without getting too close.
there,
That sounds good.
Got that range.
And I'm gonna do my sorcery points to which both 2 of them at once.
Okay. That one, you see like the energy is like arcing through its body, and the panic's in its face. You see all of them had this kind of like intense panic look in their body, like they're just like crazy and flaring and lashing out. It's horrifying.
Then I'm gonna back up.
You can see like one of the other ones that's like climbing up the side here as it's squawking, and then something pulls it out of view.
Oh no.
Oh fuck!
Oh no.
And this is when you realize that they weren't attacking the ship, they were fleeing through it. As these massive,
Same.
like almost bestial, weird, like scaled claws hit the side as wings, big white leathery wings kind of as it pulls up, and you see what looks to be a dragon head and a lion head and a goat head as it climbs up onto the ship right there. So the dragon head turns towards you, Chetney, and unleashes. At which point the claws are going to strike out towards you, Imogen. 7 points of slashing. No, sorry, 9 points of slashing damage.
Yes, I mean, yes.
The chickens run, the
Chickens turn us into.
Save yourself.
And I will say as part of climbing in there, I will say that when it's horn attack, it would have actually attempted to strike the other basilisk that was right there. So with that, the one that you struck, the Chimera just gores it with with one of its goat horns, and it just kind of like hangs off its head for a second before it slumps to the ground of the ship. All right, that finishes its turn. Laudna, you're up with FCG on deck as far as the heads are.
So yeah, Laudna kind of like drops on all fours and starts to, you hear the sound of like wood creaking as her flesh starts to turn into like an old rotted bark and branches sprout from her shoulders. And
that's cool!
What?
That is cool.
Tree flare.
Skitter back.
For the flare of this, you just kind of like spider climb up to the top.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and, because this feels like it's gonna be needed, cast Bane on the Chimera and these two chickens over here that are squaring up against.
Failure says 3 Banes out of the gate on this one and this one. Nice. You got it. Alrighty. That's your turn. All right. So Chet, then FCG.
Yar. So I take out Esteros's walking stick and I go, okay, old man, let's see what you were working with. And I'll say, done! And unleash the scythe within.
The blade just emerges in this flash of light, and you can see that kind of low hum, that kind of coasting over the edge of the blade as you kind of hold it. It feels unnaturally light for its size.
Ooh, I feel the power. And with my bonus action, I'm going to use Blood Curse of Bloated Agony on the Chimera. I'm going to sit there with my dope-ass scythe and go, I need to get distance! And I'll cast invisibility on myself.
Whoa.
Okay. Wow. Bringing now to the top of the, to FCG and then Orem. So FCG, what you got? As you're like...
Pretty hurt, huh?
So it's just, you buzz on the side of the creature. It starts like trying to screech, the gurgles in its throat, and it pulls away, blood kind of dripping down its body. It looks hurt, but it's still kind of angry and aggressively, like it's kind of not even paying attention to you until you slash it, and then now its eyes are almost focusing between you and the Chimera. It looks like it's trying to just escape. That's okay.
Then instead, I will use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon if I can't heal her, right? I'll cast Spiritual Weapon against the beast, against the Chimera.
Yep, 20 feet, that'll get about there.
And I think I can attack, right?
You can, yeah.
The Spiritual Weapon operates as the thing that chickens hate most, a butcher knife.
13 is enough to shake it off.
Shake the
Nice.
You're no longer restrained.
Okay.
I will say, without Ashton's help, you would be stone right now.
Oh,
yep.
I hate birds.
Tirana, who's now extremely hurt from the fire, goes, rushes forward around the Chimera, like as it's kind of eyeing her, goes ahead and loads one of the weapons into the bolt on the side, and kind of like pulls it back, and it's like, she holds her arm and kind of kneels on the ground, but that ballista is currently loaded.
Okay.
That's gonna finish her go. Orem, you're up. Fern, you're on deck.
Okay, Orem throws his head over his shoulders and sees the big monster, says, let the big folk handle the big monsters for once, and then I'm going to drive my blade straight into the wound that FCG made on chicken number 1.
You got it.
I both stab it and then go poof and knock it 15 feet off the front of the ship.
Okay. Yeah, it falls off the edge, against the tumbles, it catches its wings. It looks heavily damaged, but it's still flying in the air.
And then I draw the blade back out of it as it careens over the side, twirl it around, and then squat low into the ground, and using the boots, just spring towards the other one and shove into that one as well and try to kick it off. And it chickens off the side of the boat.
Side there. Okay. So that gets knocked off the side, takes 15 points of damage on that one.
Oh, fuck.
Right, so both just like whoosh, both of them off the edge.
So boof, boof, turn around, size up the situation, and I'm gonna run 10 feet and leap and land pretty close to that dagger, magical dagger, the spiritual weapon, and yell at our monster friend, hey! To try to get its attention, and that's the end of my turn.
You got it.
Sweet.
All right, with that, Fern, you're up.
All right.
Okay, so we'll just say that you shrug it off because of the magical nature of your Fey ancestry. You shrug off the petrification effect.
Nice.
And what do you want to do with your turn?
I am going to hit it with a scorching Marisha Ray.
That's a great freaking round. 36 points of fire damage to it, and all 3 blasts striking into its side. The heads like start reeling around angrily, screeching out into the sky. It's echoing loudly. You can see the remaining baskets that are climbing up the side of the ship are quivering in response to its screams of pain. That's your action.
That's my action, and now it's Mister's turn. Mister's gonna throw some flaming shit.
So he's loading his flame seed into the gun he got from Percival DeRoe.
Yes.
Okay.
He's getting it locked and loaded. Going right into the barrel.
Oh. That is 45 points of fire damage in one round. That's pretty damn slick.
What the?
All right, are you staying put or do you want to move?
I am going to... Can I move over to the ballista and sort of just get close, ready to go?
Yeah, if you want to. Just go over and like whip it around and you're holding it there.
All right.
You got it. That finishes your turn. It is now the cockatrice's turn.
Cockatrice?
They are running away. There are more on the side of the ship, but they are now with this creature distracted, and many of them slaughtered. The rest of them just take off. The ones you knocked over just continue to fly away, and they all exit.
Wait, help us!
That concludes their turn. Ashton, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. All right, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm somewhere, not quite in the way of the ballista, but definitely like.
If you can move here, you can get between Imogen and Orem if you wanted to get them within your radius.
My radius is 10 feet, so it's pretty big.
So actually,
yeah, I'll stay over there just in case
you got it.
Something weird happens. Yeah, I'm just going to slide on up. These things are going great, and I'm going to try and knock it in one of the legs, see if I can just
You got
flavor.
it. Make your strikes.
13 points of damage.
13 points of damage too. You got it.
And then I'm just going to keep that rolling around like a terrible, terrible dance move while I'm on the ground and see if I can keep spinning and try and hit it again. And I am just a terrible sparkly disco happening right now.
Whack! 2 heavy hits to the side of its torso and body. Its leg kind of almost seems to snap at the knee a little bit before it like pops it back angrily into place, and one of the heads screams in pain. Other ones seem
Give me the
nonplussed.
goat! I want the goat! Come on!
And with that, Imogen, it's your turn.
Bloody it all is how's it looking?
It looks like it's taking some pretty heavy hits. Yeah.
Okay, Imogen is gonna look around and sees all the chaos happening around her, and all of a sudden she closes her eyes and opens them back up, and they're bright red.
Ooh, what?
And as she just closes her eyes to all of it, she puts her hands to the side of her head, and next to her, a red entity starts to form.
Okay. You all watch as this odd little pocket in the air just kind of seems to flare like a spiral of red energy, and as it empties outward, this creature pulls through, made of like red materia. It looks humanoid, but it's not fully there. It just kind of like wisps of red energy. It has kind of an elongated head, almost like it kind of stretches back wider and longer than though thin at the front, like than a human skull, like a half xenomorph, if you will.
Deduce spell.
It's a red panda.
It just kind of emerges.
Excuse me.
What
You
do
could just
mean?
summon something else?
What
It's
do you
semi-transparent, and it just kind of like stands there and kind of like glides into space next to Imogen.
I'm sorry?
And I'm gonna look over at it and just think at it. Attack.
Looks over at you, like you don't see features. There's no eyes, no face. It's just like red energy that's kind of like wispy and not fully there as it kind of turns back and goes to strike towards the creatures. So go ahead and roll for the creature's attacks. And with that, after it like seems to focus towards this chimera, and then it just is these claw strikes.
It's actually mental strikes.
Okay.
So they do
So it just
psychic
holds its
damage.
arms out of the side, and you see like the red energy at the back of the head seems to almost intensify and glow, and as it does, one of the chimera heads like withdraws, and you see almost like a streak of red energy kind of flare off of its head as it does so, and the other head gets hit with another similar strike, and both heads kind of like reel like they just had an extreme pounding headache in an instant. Wow. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. It's looking hurt. It's looking hurt. It's now the Chimera's go, since it's after you, Imogen. Let's see if it recharges its flame breath. It's not. But it is furious, and is now going to... It's going to focus its attacks divided, one at the new creature that just struck it twice.
5!
Another 5 points of damage to that. The blood mallet like seeps into its body, punishing it for going all out this round. but it's going to strike the shade once and then you twice, Imogen.
Okay.
So it's going to go ahead and go for a bite against the shade. The shade just kind of like drifts backward, almost effortlessly gliding behind as the head just snatches forward with nothing. The goat head's going to swing wide with its horns towards you, Imogen, as it just like slams into you with its goat
in that
horns.
case, it is 11. Okay.
Still 11. And then it's going to go ahead and now strike at you with its claws as well. So let's see the source of this. The claws are going to do...
Silver barbs.
Oh, so disadvantage on that, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, you got it. That is going to reduce it to a 13 minus 1
It's 12.
is 12.
Doesn't hit me.
That misses you. The second one does no damage. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's some team. That's fucking teamwork. All right.
I take that silver barbs, distracting it. I'm gonna take and siphon that like mercury-like energy, and I'm gonna pass it over to Chetney. So you have advantage on your next attack.
You got it. All right, that finishes its turn. As it's now just like digging in onto the surface of the ship. It looks angry, it looks confused by the strange red entity, and is just now ready to lash out. That brings us to Ladna, your turn with Chetney on deck.
I am going to attack it with 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Do it.
Plus, so 19 damage on the first.
19 damage on the first strike. It impacts the bottom of the jaw of the goat, and you watch its jaw kind of like dislodge from the impact of the force.
Okay, that's 11 damage.
11 damage. Slamming the other side of the goat head, one of its horns breaks off and goes flying off the side of the ship.
I'm going to quicken a spell. I want to. Don't make it sad.
It's in pain.
But is he smart enough?
Don't worry about the chimera, jeez!
I'm gonna
Kill it.
So your quickening spell?
quicken a spell, and in my like tree form, I say, "Pate, fly!" I'm gonna send Pate over to it.
Whatever you say, boss.
And he flies over, and he's going to land on the chimera, and he's going to deliver a shocking grasp.
You got it.
So he's a little like rabies rat teeth. He's like, "Grrr."
All right, go ahead and roll for his attack. Yeah, okay, yeah. So he goes to strike, and right as he...
13, you said?
Right,
13
right as...
doesn't hit.
13's not enough. Goes to bite, and it bucks him off the side and goes, oh, God damn it, sorry.
Try next time.
Out of practice, first time, you know.
All right, does that finish your turn?
Yes.
All right, with that, Chetney, you're up with FCG on deck.
Amazing. I'm just gonna shift over to the right a little bit and rock back up my heel, and I'm gonna take the scythe. I'm gonna take turmoil, and I'm gonna take the blade and I'm gonna lick it, and cast a blood maledict on it. And
The whole scythe blade is now wreathed in bright red-orange fire.
flaming scythe. It's invisible. Although it's magic, so do I become visible again?
Oh, because you cast.
Well, you're not really casting
Not really
a
a
spell
spell.
or an attack, so...
So I rock back up my heel. I'm gonna jump off the ledge towards the chimera.
Yes.
Now you become visible. Middle of the air, you just see leaping in the sky, back behind a flaming scythe, just back towards the chimera. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
Dope. I have advantage on these attacks because of Ladna.
You leap down. I take it next to Imogen.
Yes.
So as you jump in the air, you hike down, the blade gets stuck in like part of the throat. As you push down, it kind of glides to the ground, splitting open part of its neck. And as you then arc it upward, it like sticks up underneath the dragon head, and like comes through the throat up into the roof of its mouth, and the head's like kind of like lodged on it right now as you have to like holding it in place. It's looking pretty hurt.
Cool. No, I don't think so.
FCG, you're up.
I'll move closer to the melee.
That's normal for me.
I will. I'll attack twice. Then I'll attack with. A little door will open up on my shoulder and shoot out a gout of flame. Sacred flame.
All right, so dexterity saving throw. So as it opens up, the flame gout slams into the side. The flames kind of burn and curl. One of the heads kind of curls back and looks, and you can see it's the unihorned goat now, with the other side broken off. The weird square eyes are staring at you from a
I hate
distance.
square eyes. I will use my spiritual butcher knife to chop at that head.
Go for it. Roll an attack.
6 plus 3, 9 points of
9
damage.
points of damage to it. Great. Does that finish your turn?
That's all my turn.
All right. That brings us now to the top of the round. Currently, Tirana, who loaded the ballista, Fern has it, goes, you got this, and then is going to go ahead and turn around this side and is going to attempt to go up the side of the stairs there to get away. The Chimera does get one attack of opportunity against her. She tries to rush away. 11, which misses. So as it kind of strikes out with one of its claws, does like the running from the Save a Marshmallow Man hand on top of the building. It was like the like just barely leaps out of the way in time and rushes up the stairs.
Got it. You negate.
Yes.
Got it.
The large print giveth, the small print taketh away.
Orem, you're up. Fern, you're on deck.
Okay.
Orem quickly runs up the length of Ashton's warhammer, and just as I hit your shoulder, say, sorry, Ash, and spring off of his shoulder, shoulder.
That's not great.
And land on the goat head, and I'm gonna stab this bastard in the eye.
You got it. You slam down, arc into it, carving past. You hit like a tendon, and one of the heads kind of hangs limp. It's still alive, but it's like having a hard time holding itself up, and it's like.
Cool. I will just follow up and go for the other eye. 14 points of damage for that.
14 points of damage. Alrighty.
And then I'm going to
Looking real hurt.
backflip off this thing's shoulder, land in front of Imogen, back her up and throw the shield up, using bait and switch, and giving Imogen 8 points to her AC.
To my AC?
Shield up.
Pushing in front. That finishes your go.
Yeah.
Fern, you're up.
Get off my airplane.
How do you do this thing again? I'll get locked and loaded into the.
Oh, right. Yeah.
ballista.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you are aiming this ballista at it. It is point blank, so I'll give you advantage in the attack roll because it's literally right there.
It's a little close, but.
So go ahead and roll. Roll a d20, adding +6, but you have an advantage.
19 total.
19. How do you want to do this? So this is a massive ballista bolt. It's about more or less 5.5, almost 6 feet long, like solid metal with like a hooked blade at the front.
Almost point blank range.
Oh, right.
It's like 10 feet from you. You just release it.
I'm just gonna make a kebab. So it's just gonna go straight through and then straight through the dragon's mouth.
Okay. It starts to fly up a bit. And then suddenly the rest of you hear this ting and watch as its wings just out like heavily, and the impact of it sends it tumbling up and over the edge.
Damn.
And it just limply falls out of the sky like a gnat that was swatted, and you watch it just